Well, BYU didn't exactly have any problems getting past Idaho State last Saturday, winning 56-3, but the upcoming game this week will be a little bit more exciting as BYU heads to Texas to Cowboys Stadium to take on TCU. I'm Jared Lloyd, BYU football beat writer for the Daily Herald and Cougarblue.com, here with Jason Franchuk, BYU football columnist for the Daily Herald. Jason, did you learn anything about what BYU is going to be able to do against TCU by the fact that they were just able, they've won 5 straight games. That's not a bad role to be on at this point.
This is a different level, though, than what they've seen the last 5 weeks. This is a winning team, a winning program. It's not the TCU of past teams, but it'll be kind of interesting to see, Jared. I mean, having seen all these games with TCU in the past few years, it's been a better defense for TCU, really minimizing a better offense for BYU. I'm very curious to see where Riley Nelson is. I think this is a huge game for this program, not only for where they are this year, what kind of team does BYU have in this particular season, but what are they moving forward? Is this a viable option? Is this a viable team going into kind of Horned Frog territory? It could be a 50-50 split crowd, but I think TCU is going to be fired up because Gary Patterson, the head coach there, gets these guys fired up to play BYU. They consider this a rivalry, and I think BYU's mistake possibly is I don't think they've gone in with the same fervor going into this environment.
Well, that might change this year because this is really BYU's last opportunity to make a real statement on the national scene. I mean, they've still got 3 more games in the regular season and a bowl game, but they're not going to play someone with the name recognition of TCU. TCU is not ranked currently, but they're right there in the also receiving votes category. They're a team that has had a lot of success over the past few years. What does BYU have to do to be different this year? I mean, the last 3 years, they've been outscored 101-17. What does BYU have to do to have something different happen this season?
Well, I think intimidation factor has been part of it, Jared. I think TCU, when you look at their defense, they're very good at confusing teams. So can Riley Nelson not only make the right throws, but make the right decisions? I think what's interesting is TCU doesn't have quite the pass rushing presence that they've had in recent years as far as having a guy who can get off the edge and really just dominate a game plan that an offense is trying to run. But BYU is going to need to move the ball. They're going to need to limit turnovers, just like really any other game. But field position will be huge. And I think defensively, they're going to need Kyle Van Noy to have a big game. They need a breakthrough player. I remember BYU going down there in 2006 when it was John Beck's year to finally win down there, and David Nixon made a huge play there. They need somebody to step up and make some plays that really give BYU a lot of confidence. Even though they've got that 5-game winning streak that you've mentioned, if there's not a little uncertainty about Friday, I'd be surprised, just in the aspect of they know they haven't faced a team this good. So I'm going to be curious to see where they are mentally for this one.
That's a very good point, and I'm curious about it too. We talked to a bunch of the players and to Bronco Mendenhall at the Monday morning press conference. They're excited for this one. They're excited for a chance to see where they're at as a team at this point in the year. It should be exciting when we go down to Cowboys Stadium on Friday for a Friday night game against TCU.
Can't wait to see myself on the video screen.
I know, I'm going to be checking it out too.